Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily...
What on earth is... You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little thing. You want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! So enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way! I am not Emma! Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but... I'd like to ask you. On the night of our arrival... You had asked me what had become of me since we last met in London some years before. What did I answer?
That you are a detective, Louis. You even told me about your adventures regarding some news item. What were they called now? Ah yes, the Chauffeur d'Orgère. I already told her, Louis. I was...
Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
Not at all. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take...
I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well, let's talk about us.
You must be mistaken. I did not go to your room last night, and that's where your little game ends, Emma. Because I never told you about it. So, there you can't answer. What? No! You didn't do that. I didn't want you to be jealous of Louis. Remember how you always used to react whenever you felt you were competing against a man? You dirty...
That's enough. I've had enough of this charade.
bitch! Watch out, Louis! No!
Hell, what have I done?
See what you've done. See.
Louis? What on earth is going...
Mother!
Go. You must leave. Everyone's going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess? Is everything all right?
Go! Go, Mother! No one must find you here.
Go.
Come, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I'm coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her, please. Go, I'll cover you.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one...
Not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and logical. I know you are going to find it hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out demons really do live among us,
I beg your pardon?
and that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess. Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Home does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their...
Oh, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to, Home had sent Volner to get it for him.
Home and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything? Of Acre, Louis. The fall of St. John of Acre.
Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand, and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
I found your notes, written in lemon juice.
Where all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait,
I went beyond the nightmare, Mother.
you understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries. Did you see his maps of the world?
He has contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Home are mere dandies who organize society balls. Yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
You mean the conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or personnel.
Louis, I am proud of you. You came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
You taught me everything I know.
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
Sir Gregory?
No, Mortimer, of course. He was months together studying the pages.
He was already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body. But I know it was him. I swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages and he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you accepted?
Please don't be stupid. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him, through a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741 in Poland, 1749 in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane?
From his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We move on.
Wait a minute, one last thing. I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers, and her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Do you know who killed her?
Absolutely not.
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Mother, I won't take a step further if you don't answer me.
You dare blackmail me?
I'm listening.
All right, I used her. So there you are. Happy now? We had the Al-Azif, and I didn't think we would be able to hide it without anyone seeing. And then I disposed of her. I am sorry for her, but she was part of the Golden Order, Louis. She knew the rules when she joined.
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could. Nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel, but frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for this conference.
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters. There. That's why we are here.
Reassure me, we aren't going to...
Wish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 6 objects before we try anything.
Are your 6 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests... Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office... Start by fetching all the keys, then.
Did you succeed in opening this iris?
Yes, by putting the cross on the console and the 3 nails on the disc, the iris opens. It gives access to a hole where I put my hand, thinking I could fully open the iris. There's a handle at the bottom, and as you can see, it didn't turn out very well for me.
I need it. Caesar's laurel wreath. If Mortimer really is what my mother says he is, it could mean... No, that's impossible. No, not Caesar. It works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck. Luck. I never doubted you, my son. But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around. Be careful, Mother. As if me saying that will make any difference. Knowing Mortimer, I wouldn't be surprised if he rigged his crit to wager your other hand.
You've got a point there. We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Oh, that? That's what we come to find? The lance that a centurion stuck in the side of Christ at his crucifixion?
That's it.
Seriously?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's a
Lance?
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
All right, we'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me. All doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Devil's Thorn. The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription. Let's see what we can find here. It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? Ha! Great! Now let's see what's inside.
Leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You're not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Wollner about it, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
That was a private conversation. How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can. Know about the Holy Lance, Louis.
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding. Your Eminence, you're worrying me. What is happening to you?
Nothing, Louis. Just a moment of weakness, but I'm better now. I am all ears. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it.
You're the first I've spoken to about it, Your Eminence.
Come now, Louis. Are you quite sure of that?
Yes, my mother knows about it.
Of course, Sarah. Who else?
No one else.
What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
I need it.
Why?
You won't understand.
Try me, Louis.
I need to protect myself with it.
Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
I must be sure of my choice. I cannot get it wrong. Am I absolutely sure this is the one to take? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaget and Wollner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick. Look, I don't know what you're going on about, and I don't have time for this right now.
Sing them when I join them.
And remind me, during the conference, which side were His Eminence and Mr. von Volner on?
Sir Gregory. But what has that got to do with it?
And did it not occur to you for a single instant that they might have been speaking about me in front of you on purpose to manipulate you? I trust them to detect novices who are likely to be taken in, yes.
Those sons of whores. Ah! So that's how they see me.
Be careful to make sure the conference keeps on going.
I'll make sure those two bastards get what they've got coming. Right. We'll leave it there. I'm glad that things have been cleared up.
So, are we finished here?
Indeed we are. I shall leave you.
That's right. Go play somewhere else. See you later, monsieur. Come on. I have to hurry up and join my mother at the wharf now.
Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat.
What's wrong, my lord? Tell me. What's with all the bodyguards?
Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in the search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road. You to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, about the demons. She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear lying if I said that we have always been here.
Lucifer, the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculously nowhere near 1,000,000 of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family, but it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are because a large number of our kind remain hidden, or...
Have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every demon has the capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your supernatural powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
And what do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
Of course you do. And you expect me to believe that, I suppose.
Louis, demon is just a word. It all depends on what exists beneath the surface. I understand that this isn't easy. The culture of men is centered on the fact that demons are responsible for all the evils on Earth.
But if it's the same in every single culture, then maybe there might be something to it. Don't you think?
Certainly there is. Be more convenient for manipulating the masses. A perfect, inaccessible being, and a plethora of demons in every one. The perfect idea to relieve men of all responsibility, while still finding them guilty.
How would you qualify your species, scientifically?
Good question. What's of religions? I am not hiding any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
Why do you bring up folklore? You mean that you've taken advantage of people's beliefs?
No, not exactly. I mean that we in fact created them from scratch. It is amazing to see how mankind has such a strong need to believe in something superior to itself. It was very instructive for what was to come.
Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
You're the one who killed her.
The poor girl was condemned, Louis. Don't you think it better that she stopped living like a slave, being mentally raped by my father since the day she was born?
Mentally. What's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are at the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection
But how
and
do you
pleasure you
agree
can.
on global policy?
Locally, we often have competing interests, and sometimes we start wars between men which are linked to our disagreements. Most of the time, our father steps in and gives directives, which my family...
What do you mean?
I mean that a new era must begin. The old monarchic regimes are outdated, and it's time to evolve.
So, Von Borchert, he was looking for the Al-Azif for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What, you mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Right? I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I've something to show you.
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh, haven't you guessed yet?
No, I don't think so. I'm just a man, and that's fine with me.
Look, we are of the gods, Louis. Always have been. You, as much as me, you are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth. Where do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself suddenly inside someone else's body, without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never have lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis, I would rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry you had to find out. not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.
You can say that again.
For now, I think you ought to find Sarah, my son. You ought to talk things over with her.
So she's been lying to me all along?
Let her justify. Have all the time we need to talk afterwards. But all in good time. Before you join her, I'd like to give you something. As a demon, I would like to introduce you to your first talent.
What do you mean?
Open your mind, my son. Relax. You hold immense power. It's already there inside you. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Just let me show you the way.
I should relax.
You deep inside, but which you have been concealing. Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
I can hear something.
Now breathe.
It's a sound, very faint.
That's right. Concentrate on it. My voice is growing fainter, but I am here.
Whispers, words.
Don't be afraid.
I sense a stream. Some words are clear, but not all of them.
Let them enter into your mind.
I hear them. Now I can hear a clear voice.
Well done, Louis. Congratulations.
What was it?
You are now able to read people's minds.
What?
You heard me. From now on, whenever a human is, make them think about it.
But it'd be a violation of their most intimate thoughts, wouldn't it?
To begin with, there's nothing obliging you to do it. You already had the ability without even knowing it. I just gave you the option of putting it into practice if you want. Moreover, it would be wrong to evoke morality here. Every species is different, Louis, and this is what to do with the thoughts you read. That is where the values of right and wrong do come into play. There are also a few rules you need to know that govern this talent when used between ourselves. You can read the thoughts of demons as well as of humans. But be careful. A demon more experienced than yourself will know that you are spying and will often react quite violently. It's considered bad form to 12 Rue des Martyrs. That's where she disemboweled your mother to steal you from me.
It's not that I regret all these discussions, but I must hurry to the wharf.
You shot her in cold blood.
What is at stake here far outweighs our personal interests. I should...
Personal interests. I'm talking about my sister's life. She was my other half.
Calm down, Emily, calm down.
Louis, don't come near me.
I warned you what would happen if I found her.
Louis! You had better choose your words a little more carefully, don't you think? Duchess, I am sorry for what happened. I didn't have any choice.
Ah, you. Shut your mouth. You had the choice, all right. You use people according to your own desires, without any scruples.
Excuse me, Duchess, but we're in the same line of business.
Shut it!
And as for Emma, she knew only too
No,
well.
Emily, look at me. Emily?
What did you say?
Tried to help me. I trust you, Emily. And Emma would never have betrayed me either.
No, she wasn't like that. She was loyal. But why did Sarah betray Emma? Why?
Your sister was supposed to hide something, and no one was supposed to have been able to find it.
And she would never have talked, even under torture. So why get rid of her?
Unfortunately, Emily, the creatures who live here employ methods that no one can resist.
Emily Mortimer's a demon! In the literal sense of the word.
What are
Lord Mortimer has been around since the Third Crusade. He fiddles with his family records so he can keep maintaining his identity. Here, that's the truth.
What? But when did...
Louis, Do you realize what you are asking me to believe?
I know, but it's the truth, Emily.
How do you expect me to accept this? We are in the Golden Order precisely to fight against such beliefs.
Do you remember those deeds we found behind the chimney? They weren't fake. There's a reason why they're all signed by his same hand.
Demons.
In his study, he keeps the Mortimer family tree. They produced only boys, just one per William. He justifies his own existence, Emily.
Look, I'm going to believe you, but if you're taking me for a ride...
Unfortunately for us, it'd be impossible to even make up a story like that.
All right, I believe you.
Thank him. You owe him your life.
I have always been very lucky to have him as my son. I really thought my next breath would be my last. Help me climb aboard this boat, and let's get off of this cursed island.
No, I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you, until you've told me everything.
For crying out loud, what are you talking about?
Paris, 1763, number 12 on Rue des Martyrs.
No. I beg you, please trust me. He's manipulating you. We must leave.
Paris.
Can't you see he wants you? And he'll do anything to turn you against me.
Number 12.
I panicked. There she was with the baby due. I thought it was the right time to touch it, but
To touch it? By disemboweling her and stealing me from her?
The girl was already condemned to die. He never leaves any witnesses behind. She meant nothing to him. And I absolutely had to find a way of stopping him. I couldn't let him reproduce. I had to stop him propagating himself.
Did you lost your mind or what? How did you stop it?
I looked after you, fed you, raised you, like a mother.
I know. You always took care of me.
I devoted my whole life to teaching you to distinguish between right and wrong, so you would have the choice. You are not like him.
But you never told me.
I wanted to. I very nearly told you everything, at least a dozen times.
You didn't though, did you? Why?
I don't know. I would have told you everything, I swear, but it wasn't easy. I wanted to choose the right time. Louis, yes. I made mistakes in the past, but now I'm ready to...
Do you consider me a mistake?
No, not you. You are what I am most proud of in my whole life. You are good. You fight to do right. You are not like him.
Still, he is my father. Why did you steal me?
You don't want to know, believe me.
For once... You're not my mother! Oh, crazy one! I'll never be yours! You're not my mother!
What he's doing, I see he has his eye on you. He's hovering around you, tempting you. He did it to me before you. And if you don't live up to his expectations, he will cast you away.
Is that what happened to you?
I wasn't good enough for him, so he rejected me.
What do you mean?
He tried to initiate me, but it would seem I am unable to develop his talent.